Hi everyone, happy Friday. It's Andrea Donnelly here, Queen of the Cosmos. Oh, quantum sound and energy healer, your Friday guest expert. I am so happy to be here. It is really beautiful where I am today. It's not super sunny, but it's very clear, and I love it when the world feels like that, especially after the week that we have had, right? If you are catching this live, go ahead and let me know where you are watching from. And if you catch the replay, let me know and tell me how it lands. So I'm gonna do a little bit of an energetic check-in, and then we will go into the guided meditation. I have had one of those weeks where for me and for my clients and my friends, it feels a little bit like we're all experiencing kind of a whack-a-mole sort of energy, if anyone is familiar with that game. I was born in 79, so that was a common game in arcades. That's the word I'm looking for. Arcades was a game where you would knock something down and then it would pop up again. And that is kind of what this energy has felt like, right? It's kind of like a hamster wheel sort of energy where you're like, oh, I got a handle on this thing, and then whoop, there it is again. So I just want to acknowledge that this is not November, December, January, February, and March. All 5 of these months have had that kind of energy. And one of my gifts is that I'm able to really tap into the collective feeling and experience in this really deep way. I channel galactic energies, I channel angelic energies, specifically Archangel Sandalphon, who is the angel of music, and Archangel Metatron, who is the angel of speed. I channel the fairies. I go deep in so many different directions. I had a reading done a couple of weeks ago, and the woman who was reading for me said that I'm a bridge between worlds, and that's how I'm able to tap into so many different vibrations. And it serves me well. It serves everyone that I work with well, but we are really in it right now. And one of the reasons why it has that whack-a-mole feel is because all of the things that we need individually, so you know what your stuff is, right? Maybe you're unraveling from patterns of codependence, shifting your relationship with your family, your spouse, maybe you have money stuff that's been coming up, whatever your thing is. I kind of think of the thing as your big overlap, your the big lesson in your life. And those can change with time. You may get a handle on that and then move on to some other layer of it or version or what have you, or something totally new. But as long as you are in a human body, you will continue, right? Because that's the point of being a human, is that we are here to really learn and to grow, expand our experience, expand our soul, really step into our unique blueprint in a way that we have not ever been able to before, because right now the world is really shifting and we are stepping into this totally new way of being with each other. We're clearing a lot of really dark energy from our own karmic line, from our own bodies, from the collective. And as we continue to purge that darkness, we are stepping into a new way of living in concert with, in stewardship with the earth and with the stars. And so that is why that whack-a-mole vibe has been coming up, is because whatever the stuff is you've been really working on in 2020, 2021, all of the stuff that was coming up for you. Maybe you left a job, maybe things shifted with your family or your spouse, or, there are lots of different things that could have happened. Maybe you had some health stuff bubble up. Whatever the things are that came up, they came up because it was time for you to really face those things and then start to behave in a new way. It's not always easy. I have a brilliant spiritual IQ. It's one of my gifts. And I am a human, so I gum things up all the time. And one of the other things that's been happening that I wanted to touch on before we go into the meditation, and I have been seeing this a lot too, this specific energy, is that we all moved really fast A lot of us. Anyone who was showing up and doing the work moved really fast during 2020 and 2021, and even in the first couple months of this year. But what happens when you move really fast is this sort of unfortunate irony, which is that you move really fast and then you are like, oh, I'm still in the same place. Nothing changed. I'm like still, the same old knucklehead being a knucklehead, being faced by these same issues. But the problem is, and this is what my guides showed me this week, I got a really big download about it, is that when you move really fast, you end up comparing yourself to the version of you. So it's like you're comparing yourself of today to the you of today, if that makes sense. But you're like doing that historically. So you're like, oh, if I could have only, like, I'm in this place now, and like, why didn't I do the thing I would do now a year ago or 3 months ago or 10 years ago or whatever. And that can be the hard part about really accelerating very quickly, is that you can end up judging yourself based on where you are now as opposed to acknowledging how far you've come. So I want to celebrate a couple of things in my own life, and also I'll add some little client wins in there too before we go into this next part. But I realized this week that I brought in 138 times the revenue in 2021 than I did in 2022. How amazing is that? It's freaking amazing. It's amazing. It's so cool and amazing. And I can be really hard on myself. I am from an Irish family in New England. Those issues do not mess around when it comes to like shame and blame and like lack of acknowledgement. So it's like a really stern, judgmental energy from which I come. And so I can get so hard on myself. But you guys, 2 years ago, when I started this business, I had an application pending for long-term disability. I have changed so much so quickly. My guides tell me all the time. They told me this for years too. I ended up really physically injured so that I could show myself what I was capable of. And I am a beacon for humanity. So because I have been able to transmute so much so quickly, totally change my physical body, shift out of, I took so many, I wrote down and then posted a list of all the medications that I used to take 2 years ago when I started this business. It's wild how much I've changed. And as part of that, I ended up, my first year of business compared to 2021, 138% increase in revenue. If I keep up with that speed, I'm going to be a millionaire this year. So let's really celebrate the wins instead of getting stuck in that pattern of being like, oh, why did I do this dumb thing 6 months ago? The me of now would do this totally different thing, and forgetting that you were a different person 6 months ago. So if you are watching this, please post some things that you are thinking about in this now moment about what has shifted for you, what is really different for you now, and let's be really proud. Let's celebrate the wins, because it's really important for us to be so grateful for the way that we've shifted instead of getting stuck in this pattern of like judging ourselves and feeling like nothing has changed. And I say that having witnessed what my clients have been up against this week. I've had so many people tell me that they have felt that energy of just like judgment, like, oh, nothing is different. And then when they really lean into it, they're like, wait, that's not true. I'm totally different than I was like 6 months ago or a year ago. So let's go ahead. We're gonna do a little bit of meditation. And again, if you are just catching the live now, if you want to post something in the comments, let us know like what has really shifted for you, because we've been in this sort of loop of, I feel like a lot of shame and judgment has come up for people this week. And so I just wanted to give people a chance to really acknowledge that and admit that like there are these huge ways that we have all really changed, and that we are potentially comparing ourselves to the us of like 6 months ago or a year ago, when really we need to look at how much we've grown. So let's go ahead and we'll do some meditation. Now this meditation style that I use, I just want to give you guys like the 60-second elevator pitch. I learned how to meditate when I was 17. A couple years later, I learned another meditation style. I have been on a metaphysical journey since I was a baby, since I was born. All my past lives too have been about synthesizing the information that I have and finding a way to be able to articulate it in a human body, if that makes sense. So I mentioned it a few minutes ago, but that's why I ended up as injured as I did, was because what I had to do was show myself what I was capable of. And really like move mountains, move physical mountains. Changing your physical form is one of the hardest things that we can do on this planet. And for me, that was one of my lessons, was to be able to show myself that I was really able to do that level of energetic work. So this style of meditation that I'm about to lead you guys on, I use this with my clients. This helps people very quickly. People describe this as like, they go into a trance. It feels like I have a very hypnotic voice. So just be aware of the fact, if you are driving, do not do this right now. Come back to it. You really want to do this when you're able to just like lean into it. I channel the energy of the ascended masters, of Jesus and Mary, of Buddha. My voice literally transmits the energy of the saints and sages, and my presence is grounded always into that energy. So just by being near me, you end up getting, that's why it feels, people have said it to me my entire life, like I hug people, it feels like I've cleared all their karma. I'm able to like bring you into this state of peace. And when you can get into that state, you can get so quickly into the quantum field, that's when everything can really change for you. And I witness it all the time with my clients. I have a client who just landed her first 50,000 a month. I have another client who during the course of working with me one-on-one hit 20,000. Freaking amazing. One of my clients, one of my oldest clients who's been with me on this journey from the beginning, hit a $100,000 a month in her second year of business. Like the things that people are able to do. And I talk about the money because the physical stuff that I have gone through is really important. That 138% growth that I did between in my own revenue between 2020 and 2021 is amazing, but I know that you guys want to see results, and it's not just about like, I am in so many ways my own best advertisement, but it's important for you guys to know. And that is a thing that is connected to what I was talking about at the beginning, about that sort of like hard New England, like I'm not always the person. I know how much this work, I know how much clearing trauma, your drama, your karma, I know how heavy that stuff is. So it's not always easy for me to share client wins because I don't ever want to disrespect people's privacy, but I also know that it's really exciting and that sense of celebration is really beautiful. And we need to just be more aware of how much we are moving and growing and being really just like drawn in that party energy, because it's part of cultivating inner peace. So if you want to go more in depth with me, I'll mention it at the end of this, but before I potentially take you into a peace trance, I want to just mention I have a couple more spots left in Angelic Alchemy, which is my 3-month group container. It kicks off next Thursday, 3/24. Next week is a really powerful energy. I'm super excited about it. Everyone who has signed up is a powerhouse. Everyone who graduated the last time is a powerhouse. So if you're interested in doing that, let me know. I have all kinds of different sessions that are all really like fun and amazing and have a different, I channel the Akashic records. I work in your Akashic records. I channel the light of the ascended masters, the archangels, the fairies. You get a lot of bang for your buck when you work with me. That is one thing about working with me, is that it's like getting like 10 sessions at one time. You get light language, you get a karmic clearing, you get work in your Akashic records. I don't know why I'm like turning into like an Italian bro right now, but like a car salesman. Anyway, I love you all so much. Let's go ahead and do this. come back to this over the weekend if you want to tap back into that vibe, but work with me, because this is the thing, is that we are all really being called to step into a new level of spiritual awareness, spiritual integrity. Working with me is not like doing anything else. It will totally change your life. I am a light language activator. It's an amazing, amazing experience. It changed everyone who graduated in the last round so much so quickly. Like, someone started a totally new business that they had never imagined that they were gonna do. Two people started channeling like more and new and different energies and light language. It just changes things really, really big for people very fast. So, close your eyes if you can. As I mentioned, if you are driving, please come back to this. You can still listen to it, but don't, obviously like have some very clear grounding. So close your eyes, put your hands on your heart if you can. We're going to send a grounding cord of light and love from your center through your feet into the earth herself. She is so proud and honored and happy for all of you being present in this moment. Everyone who's drawn to working with me, everyone who is called in this way is one of her stewards, and she is so honored and happy and grateful for the energy that you bring to whatever it is that you do. It doesn't matter whether you have a role of being an entrepreneur, maybe you have a job working for someone else, maybe you are, whatever it is that you are doing in this life, it does not matter. It's about the energy that you bring to the experience, and that is what she is so grateful for in this moment. So let that sink in. Let it sink into every one of your cells, your heart, your DNA. Let it run up through all your chakras, all the way up to the solar sun. Connect to your galactic family. Draw that light back down again, and imagine it synthesizing in your middle in a beautiful golden bow. Take a deep breath in, and on that exhale, let go of all of your worries and all of your stresses. Another deep breath in. Breathe in prana, breathe in life force, breathe in miracles and love. And on that exhale, release all of the things that have been causing you pain, all of your stress points. Let it go deep into the heart of the earth herself. She can take that energy, she can turn it into the building blocks of life. So let it go. Let it go. Let the resonance of Archangel Sandalphon, the angel of music, let it run over you. I'm going to channel some light language right now. The light language is specifically for everyone in this space to really activate that sense of inner peace, that sense of inner awareness, that sense of spiritual integrity. Really fine-tune your relationship to your own guides, to your own higher self, what I call the whispers of your heart, which is that team of galactic and earthly guardianship that you have, that I have, that we all have, whether we are aware of it or not. Arungabala rumbala lam Arungabala bamalaya mala mamalaya mamangala marumbahu. Imagine your entire body surrounded by light and love. And as you come into that space of inner peace, I want you to think about what you're going to do for yourself today and this weekend to really continue to cultivate that inner peace. Listen to your body. Listen to your heart. Thank your guides. Thank the earth. Thank the stars. I thank you for being present with me in this moment. Wiggle your hands and feet, and as you come back into your human body, if you can, raise your hands above your head. Shake those hands around a little to help to reset your nervous system and really ground into your physical form in a totally new way. Rub your shoulders. Move the energy to help to really embody and integrate what you just experienced. If you can go, whatever feels good right now, drink some water, go lay down a little bit more, go back into some meditation, go for a walk, eat a snack. We just moved a lot of energy, so just respect what you're feeling like your body really needs. If you're into this, like I said, I have a couple more spots in my group journey, which starts next Thursday, 3/24. I have an extended payment plan available for that. People's lives change so fast. It's truly like nothing else. It's like nothing else. It was an absolute honor and a miracle to be able to mentor the women who joined that last round. The women who've joined this time are wild, amazing, creative geniuses. One of them is a light language channel. A couple of them work with the fairies and with the earth. It is going to be lit. So join us. Book sessions with me. The light language, I offer sessions that I channel a light language for you specifically. So if you're into light language, I want to just also say I have channeled light language since I was a kid. It's wacky. I always called it like an elegant Muppet language. I didn't talk about it publicly until last year, but I always thought of it. I was like, what is this thing that I do? Like, I knew that it made it so that I was able to talk to animals. I have some crazy stories about animal rescue that I will not even get into right now, but light language was one of the ways that I was able to have that heart-based communication and make it so that animals understood what I was doing, in situations like, I will tell one quick thing, which is once when I was in about 3rd grade, we went on a family trip to Florida, and we were in a state park, and there was an egret who had gotten a hook stuck in her eye, bless her heart, and the rangers were having a lot of trouble catching her to be able to get her medical attention, and I had caught a pigeon a couple of years earlier, and my family knew that I was an animal whisperer, and they told the rangers that I could help. And I ended up, they were like, okay, we're not having any luck, so we'll let this little pipsqueak of a goofster go ahead and try to catch this bird. And I started channeling light language. I was able to calm the bird down. I wrapped my arms around her. She was totally fine. They got her to the vet, to a wildlife vet. And light language is the way. So it's really silly. It doesn't make any sense in 3D. It sounds like gibberish. Totally sounds like gibberish, but it also sounds beautiful. And if you can get out of the way of your 3D brain, my guides tell me it is one of the reasons why my work is so fast, so potent, so powerful, why me and my clients all experience these wild, rapid quantum leaps over and over again, is because light language is the language of creation. It's the language of our hearts. It's the language that we speak to each other that transcends any sense of human disconnection or misunderstanding or difference. It totally overrides that. So, yeah, book sessions with me, join Angelic Alchemy, reach out to me. If you're catching this on the replay or if you caught it live, go ahead and let me know how that felt, what came up for you during the meditation. I love you so much. I will see you next week. Oh, and before I go, sign up for my freebie, which is a free channeled light language healing, which I used to lose over 50 pounds in the past 2 years. So it's to support emotional and physical weight loss. Sign up for that, join my mailing list, and yeah, I'll see you next week. I love you so much. Have an amazing weekend wherever you are in the world.